I want to wear the hair and the makeup, but, my wife was like, you can't do that because you're doing a serious thing. And, and now if you do get out, you will have a strict curfew. I don't care if Jesus comes down and tells you he needs to ride to church. You get into a car and drive, I will have a contempt hearing. Oh, now we have a problem.
Yeah.
Now we have a problem. If it's an inconvenience to you to have this, and the problem is that when the cat's away, the mice will play.
In the spirit of Halloween, I had to share these courtroom moments featuring Judge Fletcher presiding in full Beetlejuice costume. And yes, they're just as memorable as you'd expect, while the costume adds some humor to the setting. What really stands out is that Judge Fletcher doesn't let the fun distract from his responsibility on the bench. The rules still apply and court orders are still enforced, no matter what he's wearing. What makes these clips so interesting is the contrast. On one hand, you have a judge clearly willing to embrace a little levity and connect with the moment. On the other hand, when defendants violate bond conditions or ignore court requirements, the response is firm and direct. The costume doesn't soften the consequences, and that balance is hard to pull off. Seeing a judge address serious violations while dressed as a movie character is unusual, but also shows that professionalism isn't defined by appearance alone. It's defined by fairness, consistency, and accountability. These moments are definitely one of a kind and not something you see every day in a courtroom. What do you think? Did Judge Fletcher cross a line by dressing up, or is this harmless fun that doesn't take away from the seriousness of the court? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's dive in and watch how these hearings play out.
Beetlejuice today, Judge.
Sorry?
Beetlejuice. I like that.
I want to wear the hair and the makeup, but, my wife was like, you can't do that because you're doing a serious thing. And,
I mean,
She's right.
it's one day.
She's right.
would you think it would have gone bad to do that? Yeah, but let's have fun.
This is not about fun.
No, that's true. I guess that's a matter of perspective, right? You were on bond for DWI, and now you've picked up another DWI. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, man.
The officer was dispatched to a major one-car vehicle accident. The officer made contact with a witness who observed the motor vehicle had left the scene but was still blocking a moving lane of traffic and had struck a school zone signpost. The officer also observed the defendant's motor vehicle had crashed in the direction moving against the flow of traffic, and the witness identified the defendant as the driver. EMS saw the defendant in the driver's seat of the crashed vehicle with her feet sticking out and the engine still running. Upon contact with the defendant, the officer observed bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, and unsteady balance on the defendant's person, along with a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, and general disorientation and slow responses. When asked about the accident, the defendant stated she may have fallen asleep but did not remember the crash occurring. The defendant admitted to drinking and consuming Adderall, and she said that she was the sole occupant and operator of the motor vehicle. The officers recovered 2 open alcoholic beverage containers from the passenger side floorboard.
Drinking while driving?
Yes, Your Honor. And 4 unopened containers. Standard field sobriety tests were performed. HGN 4 out of 6, walk and turn 8 out of 8, and 1 leg stand 3 out of 4. A blood warrant was drafted and executed.
The lab results came back as 0.286.
0.026.
That's not
0.206, because there's a big difference. Is it 0.26?
Yes, 0.286. Yes, Judge. Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
That is a very high blood test. Can you run an NCIC? I'd like to know what other kind of criminal history she has, number one. Number two, did we have her sign a no driving affidavit on the first one? Because if she did, I'm going to have a contempt hearing.
I don't see a no driving affidavit on the file, Your Honor.
Yeah, well, her driver's license wasn't eligible though on the second DWI.
Probably because of the first and the ALR. Ms. Treadwell, I want you to be perfectly clear about something. I'm going to do everything in my power to protect the citizens of Harris County. Every single day, someone dies because of a DWI in Harris County. And I will do everything in my power to protect my city. And if that means putting you in custody because you repeatedly flaunt our bond conditions, so be it. Now, I'm going to revoke your bond, and I'm taking you in, And now, if you do get out, you will have a strict curfew of 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And I'm forbidding you from going within a car at all. You will now be signing an affidavit, and if I find that you drive, and I don't care what your reason is, I don't care if Jesus comes down and tells you he needs to ride to church, you get into a car and drive, I will have a contempt hearing. Every time you get into a car, it's up to 6 months in jail and a $500 fine. On one ankle, you will get a GPS monitor. On your other ankle, you're going to get a scram device, so I know that you're not consuming alcohol. As it stands now, I'm revoking your bonds and I'm putting them both at $25,000. Do you understand? She goes with you.
There's something especially striking about watching a judge enforce jail time for a bond violation while dressed as Beetlejuice. It's hard to imagine how anyone in that courtroom managed to keep a straight face. Still, what stands out most is that Judge Fletcher never lets the costume distract from the seriousness of the law. His approach doesn't change at all. Rules are rules, and violations still carry real consequences. That consistency is exactly why many people respect him. Even in a lighthearted moment, the courtroom remains a place of accountability. And when it comes to impaired driving cases in particular, you can tell Judge Fletcher takes them very seriously. His responses are firm, especially when offenders repeatedly put public safety at risk. This case is a perfect example. The defendant was already out on bond for a DWI and then chose to commit the same offense again. That raises an important question about whether current penalties are actually effective. Too often, first-time offenders avoid jail time altogether, which may unintentionally send the message that the consequences aren't severe enough to deter repeat behavior. Maybe that's where the system needs to be re-examined. Some argue that short mandatory jail sentences for first-time DWI offenses could make a real difference in preventing repeat violations. Others believe rehabilitation should come first.
Look through his condition.
Oh, now we have a problem.
Yeah.
Now we have a problem. Because now it's very possible I'm putting you into custody if you're not getting your stuff within the time you're supposed to get it.
Still have one more day today, sir. But I did go and they emailed that I did show up. I did show up to get my scram yesterday, and I was not in the system.
Order in the court,
They said that they emailed the court and said that I showed up to do it.
Hey, Felicia, can you check out Mr. Newell and see what the issue is, please? You're asking me to take stuff up. He don't even have anything on.
He was trying, Judge. He went there.
I got my GPS
They
on.
denied him.
That's the only thing they put on.
So he went there. I mean, he's got the GPS. He's doing everything he's supposed to, Your Honor.
I don't own a vehicle.
My concern is public safety. You have a manslaughter from last year, a felony assault, and another assault. And now you have a DWI. You're crashing and burning before our eyes. And what I don't want you to do is leave a wake of destruction in your path. That's what's happening. And I'm going to do everything in my power to stop it. If it's an inconvenience to you to have this, every day there's a death in Harris County because of alcohol-related collisions. It's not going to happen on my watch. Do you understand, Mr. Newell? And if it's an inconvenience to you,
I was trying to do it.
the other thing is a lot of the other judges here would make you pay for it. And for this, you'd probably be in the hole around $1,200 a month. I'm paying everything for you so that there's no excuse. And you still have yet to have the device on.
As of now, he's currently in compliance. He does have one more day to obtain that device.
Why? He's saying they kicked him out.
Yes, I see the email right here. That's not stated on here. It was stated that
So
he has conditions of bond and told to apply with the IID condition. He stated to our officer that he lost his job, but we did not have a card until the DWI. Does not have money to hire an attorney. He got his GPS and said that he will pick up his scram device. He said that yesterday. And then I don't have any reports following that.
So he's here now. Let's send him down to pretrial to get everything right now.
I'll send him a report.
Okay, we're sending you right now to get everything right now. The only thing, Mr. Newell, the only thing I'm asking you to do is don't kill someone, man. That's all I'm asking you to do, you know? God forbid you dig yourself into a 50-year hole because of some catastrophic event. I'm trying everything in my power to prevent that from happening. Do you understand? So that's all I want. In time, if you show me that we can trust you, and it's not just, okay, I'm all better, I'm gonna be little bunnies jumping in the woods. No, I need proactivity to show me that you appreciate everything, then we can talk. But at this time, with the kind of criminal history you have and the fact that we have a death in 23, no, I don't think that this is unreasonable. You understand? All right, just go ahead, take a seat. We're gonna send you down now to get your stuff. You gotta have it on by at the latest tomorrow. If not, it's not gonna go well. Do you understand?
And just to be clear, you're allowing the changing from the interlock to the portable since he doesn't have a vehicle?
No.
He doesn't have a vehicle to put it in, Your Honor.
So whose vehicle was this that he was driving?
That's
Are you Dad? Come on up, Dad. Thank you so much for coming. We have quite a bit of issues with Mr. Newell. And it seems that most of them are related to drug and alcohol issues. And I want to prevent anything further from happening that endangers the public. And my fear is that, does he live with you now?
Yes.
If there's a car at the house, he has access to it. And the problem is that when the cat's away, the mice will play.
This hearing is honestly hard to watch. You can see it written all over the father's face. Heartbreak, embarrassment, and disappointment all at once. His son was the one driving drunk, but now he's been pulled into the situation just by owning the car. It's clear this isn't a man who ever expected to find himself sitting in a courtroom like this. He looks like a good father who's struggling to process how things went so wrong. What makes it even more uncomfortable is the contrast. This is a deeply serious moment for this family, yet the judge is sitting there dressed as Beetlejuice. It creates this strange mix of gravity and absurdity that's almost surreal. You can't help but wonder what's going through their minds, trying to cope with the consequences of a drunk driving case while standing in front of a judge in full costume. For the dad, this probably feels like a nightmare he just wants to fast forward through. No lectures, no explanations, just get it over with and go home. But that's not how court works. And now everything depends on how Judge Fleer decides to handle it.
Access to it. I'm scared that he's going to use it in a way that, and so that's why I ordered him to put the interlock for any vehicle that's at the house that he's staying. I'm paying for it, so it's not going to be anything coming out of your pockets, but my fear is that he just takes the car and something happens that's catastrophic. And I'm trying to prevent that from happening. So that's why I've ordered it. Like I said, nothing's coming out of your pocket. You guys don't have to pay for anything. I just want to make sure that if he gets into a car, we know about it. And that's the only way that I know. Okay?
And my concern, Your Honor, he doesn't have any bond conditions and the car won't start if it's not blown into. So you're saying he's going to have to start blowing into it as well if he's not allowed to? So he can't drink any alcohol as well, so the father has bond conditions? He's legally allowed to have a beer and go driving if he's under the limit. He has a normal use of the mental and physical faculties.
Get it? But
now he's going to have restrictions on him and he doesn't have.
I want to make sure that Mr. Newell's not driving. You know? I mean, have you seen the record? We have a death last year. 2 assaults, and now we have a DWI second. I told him that if he's proactive with showing me that he's tackling everything in a mature and adult way, then we can talk about bond conditions in the future. But it seems that with the wake of destruction that he's left with the last 2 to 3 years, it's really concerning, you know, and I feel that he's deteriorating before our eyes, and I don't want it to happen anymore. And, you know, my fear is that something happens catastrophic. He gets into a car and just takes off and does something that's just, you can't dig yourself out of. That's all. That's my fear. And I don't want it to happen, you know? Okay. I'm sorry, but Mr. Gold, we'll talk in a couple months. If he's doing well, proactive, come back and we can talk.
So the conditions are staying.
I
mean, you see my concern that it's now impacting his father since it's not his cars. I understand your concern, obviously, Judge. I just have to advocate for my client and his father who doesn't even have conditions.
I'm not begrudging you for it, Mr. Gold. I never will.
The question, Your Honor, though, is does he need a second interlock now? Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to pay for everything for you, okay? So that it's nothing out of your guys' pocket, okay? Just make sure he's not driving. He signed an affidavit not to drive. If he drives, I can have a contempt hearing and he's facing 6 months every time he drives. So please, okay?
Okay.
Good luck to you. If you ever need anything, come back to us, talk to us. We're happy to help you in any way and anything you need, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, happy Halloween.
Thank you.
When Judge Fletcher said, "Happy Halloween," you could actually hear the sadness in his voice. Even with the costume adding a bit of humor to the courtroom, this was still a really tough hearing to watch. I honestly just felt terrible for that dad. Sitting there, watching your son completely derail your day, and probably the next few months of your life, has to be crushing. You can tell this is a father who tried. Sometimes parents do everything right, and their kids still end up going down the wrong path. And that's exactly what this felt like. I don't know their full story, but just looking at the father and the other son, it was hard not to feel that weight. It's not fair to blame a parent for their child's choices. Yet you could see how deeply this was weighing on him. That kind of disappointment hits differently. And that's what makes this case so unforgettable. It's this strange mix of comedy and heartbreak at the same time. I mean, when else are you going to watch a serious DUI hearing while a judge is dressed as Beetlejuice? Judge Fletcher really is one of a kind. Let me know in the comments what you think. Did you like Judge Fletcher's costume, or do you think it crossed a line and was too unprofessional for the courtroom? I already know some of you are going to have strong opinions on that one. Thanks so much for watching. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care, everyone.